Mrs. McDonald.
Kendra McDonald, SD 24. I'm speaking for several in my SD. We would like to affiliate with Campaign for Liberty while we're walking down the same road, but we want our objectives to be promoting education of the political process. A lot of us didn't know about all the other conventions besides the state convention to the Republican Party. To recruit members who are up for defending the Constitution and making sure everything stays with the Constitution, supporting or opposing candidates for public office, recruiting candidates for public office, and supporting or opposing specific ballot issues, and getting the information between counties or SDs or however it's organized so that we can be most effective.
Microphone 1.
Jeremy Blosser, SD10. I'd like to move, the chair just said, that while we're in this committee of the whole, speeches be limited to 1 minute. At the end of the 1 minute, the chair would ask if there's objection to continuing for another minute. If there's no objection, they continue. If there's objection, it's a majority vote.
So we're going to take a vote every minute on whether or not somebody can go forward?
All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Robert Mann, SD8. Good afternoon, everybody. Obviously, we've got some people talking about principles and goals of what the organization will actually be doing. For my own part, I'd like to remind everybody, if you haven't seen it officially, Robert McDonald made mention of it when he was talking about why he finds it a good recommendation to align informally with Campaign for Liberty. Their mission, as previously stated in an email from them, is to promote and defend individual liberty, constitutional government, sound money, free markets, and a non-interventionist foreign policy. As such, I implore everybody in this room to think about that. I take that as my personal, what I see, what I desire as our principles in the future.
Yes, sir, you're over a minute.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think anyone would have any objection if you wanted to get back in line and start all over again. Go ahead. I'm sorry, thank you. We were trying to alternate.
No problem. My name is Karen Gomez-Giles. I'm representing Senate District 20. We have 5 points that they sent me up here with. The first point was that we remain autonomous. Every region, every county has different goals and different ideas in mind, and there's different needs. So that we remain autonomous. Number 2, that we're officially nonpartisan. It is important to include, people. This is repeating over and over, like other people have mentioned. Also, we would like a 501c4 and a PAC, and then we would like to have official local chapters, and then statewide, as far as the organization, we would like support of the local chapters by handling the statewide funds and by vetting local projects for legal issues. So, and a lot of these issues are just being repeated, but I think we all have the same goals in mind. Thank you.
Gregory Askew, SD10. With respect to the 501c, personally, I would like to stay away from any government strings. I have heard several people be concerned about whether or not we're starting a new party, and that's just putting that out there. I don't know if we are or not, if we're doing an alternative to the Democrats, Republican, Libertarian, fill in the blank. That was one of my concerns. I don't really know what our focus is. So I'd like that to be discussed here. Thank you.
My name is Dan Coas from SD19. I think our overarching goal should be restore the republic. I think we should be a state unified organization. I don't think we should be partisan. I think we should put whatever liberty-minded candidate we find that does what we want them to do into office, whether Democrat, Libertarian, Republican, Constitution, whatever. If they do what we want them to do, then that's what we want to be there. And we need to keep our goals simple and to the point. We do not want to put together things that are going to be divisive. We need to be unified, as Robert X said. We must be unified or this isn't going to work.
Thank you, sir. Microphone 2.
My name is Mario Brown from Senate District 25.
No, sir, I recognize microphone 2. You'll give us a moment. Go ahead now. You want him on? Okay, you're deferring to. All right, go ahead, sir. Sorry about that.
No problem. My name is Mario Brown, Senate District 25. I'm one of the oddballs in here. I'm what's called a Reagan Democrat. The reason I voted for Ronald Reagan and supported Ronald Reagan very hard was because it was the right thing to do. And here I am looking at my party and I'm going, I gotta find something else. Ron Paul is the reason I came here. I think the charter should be whatever Ron Paul says at 6 p.m. I think that you go with our charter, and I think that we don't have to go and associate ourselves with the Campaign for Liberty right now, but let them associate with us. No problem. They want to associate with us? No problem. We don't have to upfront say we associate with them, but I do think in the end we'll end up together. So thank you.
Microphone 3, please.
Katie Brewer, ST14. We are Ron Paul. Ron Paul is successful because we made him successful, and it was us that brought him up. We need to remain nonpartisan. We need to remain independent. It's independents who influence elections. It's them who's going to decide either way. It's going to be independents who influence public opinion. It's going to be nonpartisan people that are going to influence legislation. And think about how big we can grow. We can grow Blue Dog Democrats, and we can get Constitution Party, we can get Republicans, and we can get Democrats. We need to remain nonpartisan. We need to remain independent from Campaign for Liberty, because why should we give our money to an organization that requests something back, please, like the IRS? We need to remain here at the state level. We do need to remain local. Chapters is good, and it's definitely not going to be a party.
Microphone 1, please.
Hi, Mike Sienton from SD14. There's been a lot of talk going back and forth while I was standing in line. What I've been hearing, I think a lot of people are mostly on the same page, and from what's been said, I don't think anything is contradictory to Ronald McDonald. The motion that we were debating, the Campaign for Liberty, I think can be an ally.
Just don't call him Bob. That's all I ask.
I agree that we shouldn't, have a hard and fast relationship, but they can be an ally. Just like Ron Paul says himself, this is not about him. It's about the movement. And it's by the same token, it's not about Campaign for Liberty, but we can find allies along the way, and I think we should embrace them.
Thank you, sir. Microphone 2.
Jeff Larson, Senate District 11. About a month ago, we had our regional meeting, and my caucus met for several hours. We banged out some resolutions. Every single one of those resolutions had something to do with either the goals of this organization or the form it should take or how we should go about implementing those goals. I'm willing to bet that if you multiply that times the 30 other Senate district caucuses that we had, that you've got everything you need. I don't think you'll hear anything at this mic or at that mic over the next 30 minutes that isn't somewhere in those resolutions that hundreds of people spent hours of putting together. I would implore this body, please consider what's in those resolutions. If somebody, somewhere, either this committee as a whole or some subcommittee, doesn't put eyes on what my Senate caucus put together, could effectively silence my Senate district. I think every single Senate district here deserves to have their resolutions looked at for things pertaining specifically to our goals.
My name is Jay Sting from Senate District 17. I think that if we hew to the principles on the Campaign for Liberty homepage, that they're the essential principles that contain in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. Our inalienable rights have to be preserved, and the way we become successful is by educating as many people as we can to hew to these principles and to join our organization. That there are about 300 people in this room right now, but if we all educate our friends, family, and coworkers, that we can become much more successful and larger and be able to accomplish a lot more. So I think we have to educate people, and instead of we have to develop an organizational purpose, I can think of no better thing for us to do than to educate people, to bring them to a proper understanding of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Thank you very much.
Microphone 2, please.
My name is Benito Segovia, SD13. I want to echo what Jeff said about the work that we all did in the SD caucuses. What did we do there if we were doing this? We talked about what we want to see out of this organization. Why aren't we putting eyes on this? I think it's great to have all this stuff out in the open, but 30 minutes to talk about what we want out of the organization? We spent hours talking about what we want out of the organization. Why aren't we putting that together? That's what it is. See ya.